Thank you for that introduction. Thank you all for attending. I'll try my best to live up to my reputation. So, again, thanks for attending this great conference, and I'll try to give you as much knowledge and information as I can pack into 45 minutes, and then hopefully we can do some Q&A. So my background is I've been in the online marketing world for over 15 years, since the late 1990s. I've been part owner of companies. I've been marketing director of companies. I've been on the affiliate side, the merchant side, the agency side. Currently, I run an agency, a digital marketing agency for the last 7 years called Experience Advertising, and we manage all types of online marketing from affiliate to search, social, conversion optimization, emailing, everything related to driving traffic and converting traffic for merchants, our client base. So, I've done a lot of these speeches in the past, and I sort of try to cover a certain subject in each one of them. But, over the years, it's sort of evolved, and now I'm at a point where I kind of just want to give it all to you, cover everything I can possibly cover in online marketing and social media in one presentation. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I've made some notes, some notations, and you can also get it online at bit.ly/ASE-Evan. You can access the online notes. I've handed them out to a lot of people, and I have a few more copies. So let's jump right into it. Let's see. Okay. So, the first thing you need to really do when you're attacking a niche as an affiliate or a merchant is you definitely need to do your competitive research. You need to see who's doing it already, how they're doing it, how effectively they're doing it, and really scout out the landscape. A lot of times you can look at what other people are doing and emulate what they're doing and just take the best of what everyone's doing and make it yours. You can use the tools. There's a lot of tools out there. There's tools that tell you what keywords people use, how they rank organically, what paid search keywords, how much traffic they get. And there's a multitude of tools that you can use, and I've listed some of them out here. Another very helpful thing is doing your keyword research. Yahoo used to have a great keyword tool, but they took it offline. So now it's really the Google keyword tool that can really help you get a grasp on all the different variations of keyword phrases that people are searching for and in what volume amounts. So you can build your site accordingly and optimize the page titles and the subpages and make sure you're hitting on all the relevant keyword phrases to your niche. So, you really need to get a sense of how big the vertical is, who's doing it, regarding whether you're selling or not. This is key because, when you're a merchant or an advertiser and you're selling the product, you have a lot more money to work with. You have a lot more margins. So you can be more aggressive with your advertising. You can buy the keywords. You can do the different online advertising campaigns, and you can make them work and make them convert. Whereas as an affiliate, you have less margin to work with. So it's a lot harder to do the paid advertising campaigns, the search, the social, etc., to drive traffic to your website when you don't have as high a tolerance to that conversion cost. So, what you really need to do is analyze what you're doing and decide what you can be doing better. And a lot of that is just trial and error and just evolving the concept over time, looking at what other people are doing and emulating what you see. Because a lot of times companies will have spent millions of dollars to take a concept and evolve it over time. They may have redesigned their site 10 times. They may be doing split testing. And so you definitely need to keep an eye on the competition and see what they're doing. Go to Google, do some keyword searches, and see what landing pages and ad copy they're using, and sort of emulate what they appear to be doing, because usually the bigger players have already spent the money to see what works, and so you can sort of follow their path. I've listed some tools in the notes: SpyFu, Compete, Quantcast. These are tools that will tell you analytics and different competitive data points on various websites that you punch in, the bigger ones usually. And something like Quantcast is cool because for advertisers, you know, they've compiled a lot of data on, you know, demographic data on websites, and it's cool because they give you a script that you can put on your site, a piece of code, and it'll analyze your demographics, and then you can actually advertise with them, and it'll target that demographic out on the web through display advertising. Because a lot of times banner buys and display advertising is, you know, notoriously ineffective and a loser unless you're retargeting the visitors. But when you're just targeting new visitors, it helps to be able to target your target demographics. So something like a Quantcast for advertisers is a good campaign. You can work with that company, and they'll figure out what your demos are, and then you can target those people on the web through advertising networks. So that's understanding your niche. You know, these are the various traffic channels that I'm going to cover in the presentation. You know, obviously SEO is still hugely important. Getting free traffic, there's nothing better than free traffic, so that needs to be maximized over time. And I have some notes here that, you know, definitely plug into Google Webmaster Tools, plug your site into there. They tell you, you know, the crawling issues, and they tell you the bad links coming to your site, so you can correct and fix all those things so Google likes your site more and ranks you better. You know, OffSite SEO, I'm not going to really get too deep into these because I'm going to get into them later. I'm just going to touch on them real quick. OffSite SEO is kind of like a neglected concept because, you know, you can leverage other websites that have good rankings, and a lot of times you can post content to their websites, unique content, original, you know, write-ups or articles on a multitude of websites that you may find ranking in Google, and you can use that concept to get multiple rankings in the search results by posting original content targeted to your niche on a variety of websites and then linked to your website. So it's just another way to feed traffic to your website. You know, paid search obviously is, you know, still the #1 source of targeted traffic on the internet. AdWords dominates, you know, 80% of that market. But Bing ads is also a very underused tool these days because a lot of companies are spending so much with AdWords that they neglect Bing ads, which runs on Bing, Yahoo, and Facebook search feeds off of that platform. So especially for affiliate marketing, you can definitely get some, you know, low-hanging fruit on Bing ads. You can buy inexpensive keywords and, you know, niche keywords and drive them to your website. And if you're getting keywords for, you know, 10, 20, 30 cents a click, you can make that work. You can afford to buy those keywords as an affiliate and definitely as a merchant because, you know, a lot of the cost can be, you know, 1/10 of what it is on AdWords, on Bing ads. So the volume isn't as high. The volume is a fraction, but there still is volume there because, you know, Yahoo, Bing, Facebook, I mean, they're all feeding off of that advertising platform. So it's still a very lucrative platform to be advertising. You know, then you get into your social networks, your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, and you need a strategy on all those platforms. You need a very aggressive Facebook strategy, advertising, and also managing a fan page or multiple fan pages, growing your fans, managing the whole platform. Like I said, I'm not going to get into details right now. In a little while I will, but these are the most dominant social networks that you need to have a presence on and be growing. Retargeting is awesome because, you know, this is the concept of cooking all your visitors that come to your website and then advertising to them out on the web and on Facebook. So, you know, retargeting is the hottest thing in online marketing for the last couple of years, and it's nothing short of game changing because prior to this, you know, people would come to your website and you might convert 3% of them into a sale. Or into a, you know, an action, a lead, whatever the case may be. And now with retargeting, you can cookie those people and then weed out the people who do take the action and advertise to the rest out on the web and on Facebook through display advertising and Facebook ads. So it's game-changing stuff if you're not retargeting your visitors. And I even recommend it for affiliates because it's usually very inexpensive to use these platforms. And it correlates to your overall traffic. So if you're getting, let's say you're getting, you know, 5,000 visitors a month as an affiliate, you might run through, you know, $30 or $40 a month in retargeting spend. And this is just a way to bring people back to your website after they've initially come there. And just it's branding, it's bringing people back. And so it's a conversion, what I call a conversion booster, which is just another way to convert more of your traffic into sales or leads, whatever you're going for. email has never gone away, and it's one of the best performing, revenue channels for merchants. But you need a really good email platform, something like ListTrack, or there's many email platforms for e-commerce, and then there's the platforms that affiliates will use, like Constant Contact, iContact, etc. And you need to be using email. You need to be capturing emails and also monetizing your email lists with a smart, fairly aggressive strategy, depending on who you are and what you're going for. But email is still a very, very effective way to generate revenue. Affiliate marketing, obviously, we're all here at an affiliate conference, so affiliates is near and dear to my heart. I've been an affiliate and working with affiliates, just coaching them and training them for over 10 years. So you can never have enough targeted affiliates. There's many types of affiliates. There's coupon sites, there's loyalty portals, there's niche sites, webmasters, bloggers. There's multitudes of different types of affiliates, and you need to have lots of them, actually. Companies that have in excess of 5,000 or 10,000 affiliates, I would consider that a large affiliate program. And you can only get that by doing the things like recruiting and managing and doing the whole affiliate marketing thing correctly. Working with bloggers, where it says working bloggers, you really do have to work bloggers, because you need to make friends with bloggers. And if you're a blogger, you know how important it is to have blogger friends, because you can do blog link exchanges, you can post content on each other's site, stuff like that. But bloggers are very influential, especially with affiliate marketing. I'll get into that a little bit later. Third-party portals refers to other sites that rank well in the search results that you can advertise on. City Search, Super Pages, YP.com. There, eBay Classifieds. There's a multitude of sites that you can find out there just by Googling different search results. Usually localized search terms will pull those search results, and you'll see those portals ranking, and then you can see what their advertising options are. And some do cost per click, some do flat fee, and some, you can just list your company or website on their site for nothing. And then partnerships are important, because as a company, you can never have enough partnerships with other similar companies doing something different. So you can do inventory swaps, reciprocal ad swaps, and pay each other on a rev share, and it's a beautiful thing when you can achieve that. Okay, so let's go to your on-site SEO, because SEO is still super important. Never hasn't been, and it still is. So your on-site SEO revolves around your site's optimization, your page titles, your on-page content. You need to have really good page titles, laser-focused, unique page titles on every page of the website. If you have duplicate page titles, that's bad. If you have content from other third-party sources, like catalogs that other people are representing on their website, that's bad. You need to make sure every page of your website has original content on it. Otherwise, you can get into issues with rankings. And it's never a bad thing to be posting more content to your website, more pages, more posts, and that's building out your page count. That's just giving Google and the other search engines more to index, more to rank you under, and more free traffic for your website. So you should always be posting fresh, original content to your website daily, whether it's 1 post a day or 50 posts a day. Obviously, the more you post, the more traffic that can correlate to, because that's just more indexing that can go on your website and more pages to be ranked under various search phrases that you're touching on, the titles and the post content itself. So, you definitely need an article section or a blog section of your website. Obviously, if you have a blog, you already have that. But if you're a merchant or an e-commerce, you need an article section or a blog section with all the sharing buttons and Facebook widget in the right column, and you need to really be, and also the retargeting script on the blog or article pages, because back 5 or 10 years ago, article sections were, I was always recommending them, but they didn't really convert into sales. Now with retargeting, you can drop that script into the layout of the blog or article section, and you can cookie all the article readers, and then retarget to them out on the web and on Facebook, and turn them into sales. So it really re-emphasizes the need to post a lot of content on your website and be cooking those people with the retargeting script so you can advertise to them out on the web and on Facebook. So, okay, FAQs is, you know, huge for merchants because, you know, the FAQs can frequently asked questions can lighten the load on your customer service department so they can sell. A lot of times companies get into the issue where, you know, they're not answering enough questions on the website. They don't, you know, knowledge bases are similar to FAQs. You should have a good knowledge base or an FAQ section so you're not getting inundated with phone calls about how does this work, how does that work, how do I buy from your company. That should all be explained on your website. The people calling should be buying from you or inquiring about a product and how much it costs rather than asking stupid questions, although there are no stupid questions, but, you know, they're glutting up the phones, you know, the customer service department by asking. And also the FAQs can have a lot of search relevancy. You know, the terms that are being covered in the FAQs are likely relevant to your products and your website and what you're doing. So you should have a very elaborate, you know, evolving FAQ section that grows over time. And you can do that by taking questions that customers and visitors do ask and repurposing them into an FAQ or adding them as a blog post. That's another tactic that works well. You know, your core pages like your About Us, your, you know, your services, shipping, you should have really good core, those are, you know, your core sub pages of your website. They need to be well written, good titles, and be very explanative so you're not getting inundated with questions that are glutting up the call center where people, you know, should be calling and buying instead of just asking questions. But if they do ask a question, then you have to turn that into a buying opportunity or a selling opportunity. You know, sitemaps are always still important, and you should have, you know, a Google Webmaster sitemap, and that helps you get rankings. You know, social sharing buttons are important because you want to take advantage of the traffic these pages are getting. So I recommend the Share This widget. It's a great little script you put on. If you have a WordPress blog, you can just do a plugin, or you can, you know, drop it into the site layout and put it even above and below the article content, and it has the like, the tweet, the shit, you know, all the LinkedIn, all the different sharing icons. So you need to make sure every page of your site is shareable. Very important. So let's move on to OffSite SEO. You know, OffSite SEO is kind of a neglected art form, and it really takes a lot of research but over time you can sort of get a handle on it by just doing Google searches for different keywords in your niche, and you can see, you know, what blog. Also, the Google blog search is great for finding blogs in your niche. Google actually has a blog search. You can just search blogs and by keyword, and then you can see which blogs are ranking. Let's say you have a wedding, you know, you're selling wedding stuff on your site and you want to see all the wedding blogs. So you go and you do a Google blog search and you see all the people that are ranking under wedding search phrases, and you can contact them and say, hey, listen, you know, I found your blog, it's great, I love it, I'd like to see, you know, what your advertising options are, or if you'd like to be our affiliate. A lot of times bloggers may or may not be into the affiliate thing because they just may either not be hip to it or they may have a bad experience. So you need to sort of approach it like, what are your advertising options, and, you know, would you like to affiliate with us? And sometimes they'll be like, well, it's, you know, it's $100 a month to advertise on our website, and, you know, you can drop to our newsletter. And you kind of have to just work each relationship with each blogger to see what their capabilities are, what their audience, you know, how much audience they have, followers, fans, subscribers, and then you can put a package deal together. Okay, for $500 a month, we're going to get you out to our email list, post you on Facebook, tweet, unique blog post once a month, and you can work a nice package deal and see how much revenue it brings in, and then see, you know, take it from there, adjust it accordingly. Online press releases are great, although Google has recently come out and said that they don't like a lot of hyperlinking in online press releases, which may just be them discouraging it, but I do still think they're effective. There's Vocus they own PR Web, and you can actually buy an annual subscription to Vocus. It's VOCUS, and you can save significantly on your press release costs. Instead of paying $350 for a premium press release, it gets it down between $100 and $200. I actually have a Vocus membership where I can send a daily press release, and you can do it to up to 4 domains in each account. So if you have 3 friends that you want to split the cost, it's between $3,000 and $4,000 a year to have a Vocus membership. So if you get some friends or some other companies that want to share it, then you can each drop 1 press release a week. So press releases are important because you can optimize the titles, and usually the titles include your company name, and then you can obviously optimize the content. And over time, if you do enough of them, you'll start saturating the search results in Google with positive PR about your company. Especially, it's like a reputation management tactic, or just getting your stuff out there more prevalently in the search results. Directories, have been around for years, and they've never sort of gone away. You can find the ones that rank well and do a listing on their site. Nothing earth-shattering there, but you should seek them out and list on them. Like Manta, and there's a lot of business, local business directories, Merchant Circle, and the list goes on and on. Local Yellow Pages have been around they have great organic rankings. Superpages.com, YP, City Search. This is particularly effective for national companies that sell on a local level, like florists, dentists, doctors, companies like that want that localized presence on a national level. You can achieve that through local Yellow Page advertising, and they always have good organic rankings, so it's very effective. The classified sites are great, similar, Craigslist, Backpage, eBay Classifieds, and there's quite a few others, and you can dig them up by just searching things like, top classified advertising sites in Google. It'll give you a list of them, and then a lot of times it's a manual process. It's something that's time consuming. You put someone on it and you say, go list our company on all these sites, make sure we're listed. Some of them take product feeds, so you can put your product feed with them, and just over time it just gets more organic results and traffic to your website. Forum posts are great because a lot of forums rank well organically. So joining forums in your niche, having someone join them that works for you, whatever the case may be, or working it yourself, and then posting topics. A lot of forums have what's called the signature link. So you can say, Evan Weber, Experience Advertising, you can link to your website and put your phone number even, or email address. So the more posting you do on forums, the more links you can get and the more click-throughs you can get, and also organic rankings on the forum topics if you're creating the forum topics. And that's another way to get organic rankings and feed traffic to your website. Buying domains to get rankings is great. A lot of times you can find domains that are ranking that are for sale in your niche. I bought a site, a few years ago that had great rankings, and I wanted to go into that niche, so I just bought the site. And it she wanted to get out of it. She wanted to sell it. So I bought it from her, and now I have a site that ranks really well. It has tons of original content, it generates leads, and now I just have to take it and blow it up. So that can be, you should keep your eye out. I have some sites that sell Flippa, SitePoint. These are marketplaces that buy and sell websites. And if you do have money to buy and sell websites, you should be doing that because it can be very effective. Natural inbound links. Obviously, you don't want to buy links anymore because Google frowns upon it. But seek to get stories written about your website or your company. And I've a lot of affiliates we work with. One comes to mind called Hoopla Doopla, a gentleman named Frank, good friend of mine. What he does is he gets on TV shows. He gets on local Fox networks and different TV shows that feature his site. And then what they do is they put an article on the site and they link to his website. So that's an example of getting a natural inbound link. Having a news company do an article on the company and then link to the website. So you should always be looking for ways to get more inbound links, reaching out to bloggers, getting them to post about your site or your company, and working an arrangement with them. Viral videos, obviously, if you can make a viral video, you can. A lot of bloggers will write a post about it and then link to it, and it gets a lot of inbounds. So, moving right along. Let me just check the time real quick. Okay. So, paid search. Still the #1 way to drive traffic to your website, bar none. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Paid search. Google dominates over 50% of all online advertising revenues. And they dominate over 80% of the search results, of search traffic. So now in this day and age, with more people going mobile, having a mobile optimized website is paramount, because if you're an advertiser, that Google just switched over to what are called enhanced campaigns, where they basically they previously used to let you split it up between desktop versus mobile. Now it's all together. What they do let you do is put a percentage on how much of your spend you want to go to the mobile devices. But the clients that where we manage paid search that have a mobile optimized website, and if you look in your Google Analytics and your whatever analytics you're using, you'll see it'll give you the percentages of people that are coming to your website through mobile devices, and you'll see it spiking. I mean, in the last couple of years, it's really gone up because people are just on their phone going to websites. And if they can't browse effectively on your website, then they're not going to buy from it. So that's a huge problem, especially with paid search advertising. You're paying to get these people to your website. You want them to have a good experience on their phone, so that's an absolute must. Good campaign structure and ad groups and ads. There's nothing revolutionary about this concept. The keywords need to have relevant ads, need to go to relevant landing pages, and the more relevant those things are, the better it'll convert. Then when you get into conversion rate optimization, using tools like Optimizely or Convert.com, you can get into the A/B testing thing and the split testing, where you're actually split testing the different graphics and taglines on the landing pages themselves and seeing which converts best, and going with the best performing combinations of page elements. That's a whole conversation in itself. But if you are a merchant and you are buying traffic on this basis, you need to be doing what's called conversion rate optimization, or A/B split testing, or multivariate testing, and that's a must, because your competitors are doing it. Running promotions in the ads, very effective, because you want these clicks to convert. So run a promotion, run a coupon, run a discount, run it in the ad copy before they even get to the website. And site links. Site links are important because in your Google ads, you can list out different subpages of your website underneath the ad, and you can link to different pages, and it takes up more real estate in the search results. So you can likely get people to the page they really want to get to a little quicker, a little more intuitively, than just going to your home page. So site links is something to take advantage of. And like I said, with Bing ads, it's much less utilized than AdWords, so it's low-hanging fruit. It's cheap keyword traffic, and believe it or not, there's a ton of opportunity there in this day and age, because a lot of companies put all their money towards AdWords, and they neglect Bing ads as just being a low traffic source, so they're not even going to mess with it. But it's a good opportunity for affiliates and also smaller merchants to buy keywords, their core keywords and niche keywords, more cost effectively, and get a better ROI. Tracking conversions on the merchant level. Affiliates, this is tougher, but on the merchant level, you can definitely track all the keyword buys into sales or leads, and optimize on the keyword level in the campaign, and see which keywords are turning into sales and what the return on investment is, and in tweaking the bids up or down, getting more aggressive with the bidding to get more or less traffic based on the ROI on the keyword level. So that's a must. Dedicated landing pages are important, because you never want everyone just to come to your homepage. I mean, that's so 10 years ago. The keyword buys need to be going to targeted landing pages, addressing where they're coming from, what they're searching for, and you need to have targeted landing pages for your nichier keyword buys. And then you get into the A/B testing stuff. Optimizely is one of the better tools. Convert.com is a little more cost-effective, very feature-rich tool that you can use to do A/B testing on the page itself. You drop a piece of code into the page, and then you can modify the page layout right in your browser, and you can do A/B testing, the images, the bullet points, the taglines, the buy buttons. You can make them bigger, you can make them a different color. A multitude of different variations could be tried throughout the website, throughout the layout, the homepage, the cart, and this is something you should never just have a website up there just crossing your fingers and banking on whatever it's going to do, because in this day and age with these tools, you have to be leveraging these tools to be more effective with your, to convert more of the traffic. And conversion rate boosters are very important. Live chat, I love live chat. There's a tool called Olark, OLARK.com. It should be in the notes. Olark is $15 a month. You can put a proactive live chat widget on the bottom of your website that pops up on all your visitors and says, hello, how can we help you? This is great for merchants, and it's also great for affiliates, because the nice thing is it removes the anonymity of your visitors. Most webmasters and merchants, they get all these visitors and they don't know who they are. So, live chat will enable you to interact with your visitors in a proactive manner. And if you're not available, it says, leave us a message, and it's just another point of contact you can create with the visitor to gain their, contact information and follow up. So other important things: trust logos, Norton's Trust Seal, VeriSign. There's many trust seals. The Norton's Trust Seal is the #1 trust seal. If you're a merchant, you must be running the Norton's Trust Seal on your website. Testimonials, obviously very important. Reviews, important. Customer referral program can be very neglected. There's a SaaS product called Get Ambassador, which is a plug-and-play customer referral program, very effective. It creates a way for you to leverage your customers into more customers. They can share it socially, they can email their friends, and then you can reward them with a gift card if they create a purchase, a user that they've referred. So every company selling online should operate a referral program. It's found money. So let's go on to social networking. Obviously social networking is very hot, has been and continues to be. I consider myself an avid social networker, but I work at it. Every morning when I get up, I spend an hour on LinkedIn just interacting. I spend, a half hour on Facebook just liking people's stuff. I proactively engage with my friends, my followers, my connections on all the social networks for a percentage of every single day of my life, practically, that I'm working. So what that does is it creates a lot of what I call social karma, which is just people seeing that Evan is liking my thing or commenting, and so they're going to do it to mine. And when they reciprocate with the sharing and the liking and the commenting, their friends see that, so it creates a nice viral effect. So you can never be proactively engaging enough with your peeps, your connections and friends and whatnot. Obviously you need to be working your fan page. I recommend everyone be advertising for fans constantly. Whether it's $5 a day or $100 a day, you should be running a fan advertising campaign on Facebook to build up your fans. And like I said, you can spend $5 a day or you can spend hundreds of dollars a day, but every single day you should be running a fan advertising campaign targeting your demographic and likes and interests. And that's the beautiful thing about Facebook, is you can target like that. So your fans need to be growing at all times. And then obviously you need to interact with them. The best way to interact with them is by doing promoted posts or boosted posts on the page itself. Because if you just do a regular post, only 5 or 10% of the people are even going to see the post. When you do a boosted post, which they charge a flat fee, it ensures that everyone will see it and their friends, and which is great because it pulls in more page likes when their friends see it. And then if they interact with it, it creates a lot more engagement and interaction with the actual post. When people interact with the post, their friends see the interaction, so they could interact with it or become a page like your page. So custom audience is excellent, because this is more of a merchant thing, although affiliates could leverage it. If you're a merchant and you have a database of emails or phone numbers, you can actually upload that into Facebook and then advertise against it. So let's say you have 100,000 customers in your database and you want to turn them into fans of your fan page. You can upload your data file and then run a fan advertising campaign against your customer list and turn them into fans, or sell them more product. So you can run various advertising campaigns that's your custom audience. They also have a thing called similar audiences, which takes your custom audience and matches it against people who are similar to those people on Facebook, and you can advertise to those people. It's a little more tenuous because these aren't your customers, and you're relying on Facebook's algorithm for figuring out who these people are. I've done a little experimenting with it. It didn't go that well, so I think it's kind of like a work in progress, but it's a very interesting concept that they've been working on. You know, sweepstakes are very important. Anyone with a fan page or, you know, site traffic needs to be running sweepstakes or contests on a monthly basis, in my opinion. Enter to win an iPad, enter to win a gift card, enter to win, you know, enter your photo contest, a video contest. These are the types of things that create excitement. You can promote them on the website, enter our sweepstakes. You can promote them on the fan page. You can do an email drop to your customers, enter our sweepstakes. And what happens is the people, in order to enter the sweepstakes, they have to like your page or give you their email address or both. So it's a great way to turn your customer file into likes on Facebook, into fans, by having them enter the sweepstakes. It's also a great way to capture data on your website visitors that aren't converting. Enter our sweepstakes to win such and such a prize. They can, you know, enter the sweepstakes and like your fan page and give you their email address, so then you can follow up with them and work them on Facebook. So it's another conversion rate booster by just running a sweepstakes on your website. And they all run you know, there's a platform called WooBox, I believe I listed here, yeah. WooBox is great for, it actually runs as a Facebook app, and it installs as a tab in your fan page, and then you can link to it from the website, a graphic. You can do an email creative and link to it. So when the people get there, they have to like your page to enter, and give you their email address. And you can also have them tweet out the message, but the tweeting stuff is a little more tenuous because, believe it or not, a lot of Facebook users aren't even on Twitter. So they're like, oh, I don't want to mess with that, and it kind of breaks down a little bit. So I usually leave the tweet stuff off. You know, contests are similar, photo contests, video contests. Check out WooBox, because WooBox, you can run lots of different types of contests and sweepstakes, and it's very inexpensive, $29 a month to run on the platform. You know, Facebook advertising is great, you know, for certain things. Merchants, most significantly, affiliates, it's a little more iffy because you just don't have the margins to buy the ads. But advertisers should definitely be using the 11 different Facebook advertising mediums and seeing which works. You know, there's sponsored stories, and there's promoted posts, and there's custom audiences, and there's so many different ways to advertise on Facebook, and you need a really good strategy. Test them all out, see what works. Twitter recently released some advertising abilities. You can target people based on their interests and get them to your website, and you can also target for additional followers that are in your niche. So and you can run daily campaigns on there to build followers or to get site traffic. So that's within the last few months. Instagram is freaking on fire. There's a reason why Facebook paid $1 billion for this company, because their user base is very engaged, very huge, growing, and companies are leveraging Instagram more and more. And hashtags is really propelling it because people will search the hashtags, and then they'll see the products, and the products link to the website, and they can create sales from it. So everyone should be on Instagram. If you're not on there yet, get on there. And then you can invite all your Facebook friends right through the invite feature, so you can build it up really quickly. When you're doing your social networking, you need to be featuring products. You need to be enriching their lives. You need to be doing all types of fun and engaging things to work your fans and create engagement on your social networks. And that's just the way it is. There's no way around it. You have to have a really good social media marketing strategy in place to really leverage it. And bigger companies can throw money at it. The problem with social media marketing is there isn't always an ROI on the spend. So you kind of have to look at it as we're growing this community, and these users will become buyers, and they'll become lifetime customers. However, your $1,000 spend may not correlate into $3,000 in revenue or whatever you need to be at, like search engines or other types of things will. So you just have to take it with a grain of salt and just know that you're building your audience and you're working these people. So let me just check the time. I don't even think I'm going fast enough, but I'll try to just go a little faster to get through all this stuff. But so retargeting and personalization. This is a revolution in online marketing. Back 10 years ago, people would come to your website and they would leave, and you would convert a certain small percentage of them into customers or click-throughs to your affiliate banner ads. And very frustrating because you work your behind off to get people to your website and very few people convert. With retargeting and cooking these people, now you can cookie every single visitor and then advertise to them out on the web and on Facebook. Game changer. The nice thing is the cost per customer on this is very, very low. And most companies, it's a slam dunk home run, grand slam win. Some of the companies that run retargeting, AdRoll is probably the easiest to use. Then there's Credio. Then there's Steelhouse. They're a little more advanced for e-commerce. I have them all listed in here. Retargeter, they're owned by eBay. You can do a little bit of eBay retargeting based on what people are searching for on eBay. You can retarget them and bring them to your website. That's kind of cool. So it just depends on where you are with in e-commerce and which of these platforms you want to use. AdWords also has retargeting. They've had it for quite a while. And like it says here, you can advertise in the news feed, the Facebook news feed, Facebook ads on the right side and on the web and display advertising. If you're doing B2B, if you're doing business to business and you want businesses as clients, Bizzo is where it's at. They have a self-serve platform and they also have a managed service which has a minimum monthly spend of I think 10 grand a month. So it's not for everyone, but they do have a self-serve platform and you can actually target decision makers, people with certain titles, CEOs, HR directors, VPs of marketing, etc. If you're looking to target those type of people, check out Bizzo. So I've listed the retargeting venues and I don't want to beat a dead horse. So email marketing is something that has never gone away, and it's still very, very important because email marketing is still marketing to your own lists. I'm not talking about third-party email blasting. I'm talking about remarketing to your own lists. This is still one of the #1 revenue generators for e-commerce. So you need a really good strategy for segmenting your email lists and sending to them and having a good strategy surrounding that, sending additional offers, partnering. And this is where you as a company can affiliate with other companies and send their offer to your email list, make a little extra money, and maybe they'll do it for you and you pay each other in a rev share. That's a beautiful thing when you can make that happen. Market to your data with your referral program, your sweepstakes, other offers, things we've talked about. And then you get into third-party email marketing, which are finding companies that can actually blast out your offer and to their audience and buy from this company or lead generation and leveraging those channels. But in order to do that, you open up a little bit of a Pandora's box of compliance issues. So you have to be CAN-SPAM compliant and have unsubscribe mechanisms in place. And there's one called eZeppo. There's many different unsubscribe platforms that you need to be running if you do plan on using email marketing based traffic generation. Affiliate marketing, yay! Finally here. So I mean, I could talk about this for hours, but in a nutshell, if you're a company and you're looking to grow your affiliate program, you need to be on the bigger networks like CJ, LinkShare, ShareASale, and using their recruiting tools. Otherwise, it's a bunch of coupon sites that are going to descend on your company and ruin your ROI, ruin your life actually. But some companies are fine with it. Other companies abhor it. I'm sort of in the middle. I see the place for coupon affiliate sites and then, within reason and at a certain payout level. But I definitely advocate for paying niche webmasters higher commissions than coupon websites just because of the nature of how coupon websites make their sales, which people come to your website, then they go looking for a coupon, and that's where they're laying wait. So you should always be recruiting niche websites as a company to represent reaching out to websites that are relevant, blogs, webmasters, things like that, that can be a good prospective affiliate. Contact them and say, hey, I found your website, it looks great, we'd love to have you as an affiliate or a partner. A lot of times they don't want to be your affiliate because there might be a little bit of a stigma against that. So you have to call it like a partnership, something like that, and just reach out as much as possible. Have someone reach out on a daily basis to pull in new affiliate partnerships. Advertising in the search engines is a great way to pull in affiliates. Let's say you have a dating website and you're looking for affiliates. You need to come up when people search for dating affiliate programs in Google and have a search ad and go to your affiliate sign-up page. And that's something that's often overlooked. micromanaging your affiliate payouts. You should never pay all your affiliates one commission amount. That's bad. Because there's different types of affiliates, and a lot of times companies will pay too little because they know there's coupon sites and toolbar publishers and things that are capitalizing off their website traffic, so they don't want to lose a lot of percentage to those affiliates, so they pay everyone a low percentage, which is wrong because you need to really segment out the webmasters and the niche relevant websites and pay them a nice healthy commission. And the coupons and the toolbars, probably paying them a less of a commission because of the phenomenon how they're actually generating those sales, and that will maximize the ROI on the overall campaign and allow you to pay the niche sites more. Because the niche sites are bringing new customers. The coupon sites and the toolbar publishers are capitalizing off your website traffic. So there's two totally separate things going on, and they need to be treated separately. And promote great offers through your affiliates. Give them something to promote. Affiliates don't like it when you just say promote our company. They need to promote a discount, a special, a promotion, something attractive that they can say, go to their audience and say, hey, Macy's is giving 20% off luggage, or Gateway is offering 15% off laptops. Affiliates love it when they can actually promote a great deal. Otherwise, they're not that enthused. Working with bloggers. Bloggers are very, if you have an in-house affiliate program, an internal affiliate like with Has Offers or these various other in-house platforms, getting with bloggers that have other bloggers that they're friends with can be very powerful because they have if you set them up on a two-tier system, you can set one blogger up on the top tier payout, and then they can bring in bloggers underneath them and get an override on all their commissions. And there's a lot of blogger power, especially mom bloggers, and niche bloggers. There's some with huge influence and huge amounts of followings, and you can get them into the in-house program and then ask them to recruit bloggers underneath them so they can make an override, and that can be really powerful. And we've talked about advertising with bloggers. You can reach out to them and see what their advertising options are and work a deal with them. Let's see, writing for bloggers. Do the work for them. Hire a writer. Write posts. Ask them to post it to their website. That can be effective. Blog roll links still help SEO. I don't care what anyone says. If you can get a good blog roll link on a blog with good rankings, it's going to boost your rankings. Boosted posts. If you can get some bloggers with a lot of fans on Facebook, you can actually pay them to do a boosted post on their a promoted post on their Facebook fan page, and you can get a lot of exposure to their audience, especially if it's if your target demographic. And that's a great way to spend a little bit of money to get great exposure. Tweets, make friends with bloggers because they're all really friendly usually and they want to be your friend. So don't look at it as a means to an end is the point there. Make friends with bloggers. Third-party portals, again, we touched on this a little bit, but there's many ways to create pages and create listings on third-party portals that will then drive traffic to your website with a link at the bottom. And you can leverage lots of different websites, forums, eBay, Yellow Pages sites, merchant portals, classified portals, forums. These are all, and they're all out there in multitudes in every niche. So you should be seeking them out. You should be Googling different search phrases and seeing who comes up in the rankings, and then look at those sites and see if there's any advertising opportunities or a way to add a page to their website. And things like eBay classifieds. Very underused. You can go on there and create a page for your website that describes your company, your blog, whatever, and it's totally free. And so you can go there, go on eBay Classifieds and put 100 pages up there, and they all rank really, really well, and they can bring traffic to your website. Partnerships. I believe this is the last one. So good. So partnerships, I've been in e-commerce for years, and one thing we used to do at my last company was a big health portal where we used to find other companies that had large databases like ours. We had 300,000 or 400,000 customers, and some ad inventory and a thank you page placement and autoresponders and all the things going on with e-commerce. And you can partner with other e-commerce websites that are doing something different and say, hey, listen, we're going to promote you onto our email list, on our website, on our thank you page, if it's relevant but not competitive, and do the same thing for us, and we'll pay each other a rev share on what sales, and this is affiliate marketing, but it's on the corporate level. So a lot of people don't realize that a lot of companies are affiliates of other companies. The other nice thing about, for instance, if you're a company and you join as a publisher on CJ or Linkshare, and you start affiliating with other companies and you apply to their program, and then you create, like a merchant page on your site or do a little bit of running traffic to them, then you can ask them to reciprocate and say, listen, we're promoting you on our website. Can you promote us? And join our program as an affiliate, and we'll pay each other on the rev share. And at my last company, we did a deal like that with Orbitz. We did a deal like that with Kmart. And just those two partnerships brought in hundreds of conversions a month. And they will do it if you go about it properly and you present the case for the rev share partnership. Don't necessarily call it an affiliate partnership, but it's a rev share. It's a revenue sharing partnership. And these are all the different ways that you can reciprocate, newsletter inventory, solo email blasts, website ad inventory, thank you page. Thank you pages are great places to advertise other companies. They've already bought from you, so let's upsell them another company or expose them to another company. At my last company, we sold dental insurance, so we would partner with health insurance websites, and after they completed the form for the health insurance, it would say, are you interested in a dental insurance plan? And that brought in, and we got on a lot of other companies' thank you pages. And it brought in a lot of conversions, so that's very, very effective. I'm gonna stop because I do want to take some questions, and we only have about 8 minutes. So does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask? Don't be shy. Yes. Oh, well, okay, if you go to, okay, ready? bit.ly, bit.ly/ASE Evan, EVAN. I put it all online right there, and you can access it. So it's a bit.ly link, and I have a few. There were some handouts. They might all be gone, but and you can I'll email it to you, or just go to bit.ly. I'll show you real quick. /ASE Evan. Oh wow, it kicked me off, but I'll accept. bit.ly/ASE Evan. Whoops. And there it is. All the notes.
So my question is about retargeting. I didn't quite understand what you mean by that, and I'm coming from the developer's perspective. I'm a WordPress developer. So what are you doing with retargeting? How's that happening? What do you mean by that?
Retargeting, the premise is, you're cookieing all the visitors that come to the website. You put a script on the website, a little piece of code that the retargeting company gives you. You embed that into the WordPress layout, the footer, the header.
Is that like using your Google Analytics tracker code, or
well,
it's a different code?
It's another piece of code.
Okay.
It's just another piece of code you're adding to the site layout.
Okay.
So you add it to the site layout, and then it cookies all the visitors. And now with e-commerce, what you can do is you can screen out all the buyers and just retarget the non-buyers when they leave the website. That's typically what goes on. If you're not selling product and you just want to increase your branding and get your stuff out there in front of people when they leave the site on the web and on Facebook, you can just retarget everybody. Okay, you've been to such and such blog, and then you create some banner advertisements, and you load them into like AdRoll is one of the easiest to use. You load them to AdRoll, and then when they leave the site and they start surfing around the internet, they start seeing your banner advertisements popping up everywhere.
Okay. Yeah.
And also on Facebook with text ads in the news feed and on the right side.
Okay.
And it's nice because it just creates that reminder of now it's not appropriate for everything and everybody, and it's more appropriate for e-commerce because you're looking to convert more visitors into sales, and also you can actually segment out the buyers and then try to sell them more stuff out on the web and on Facebook after they leave the website.
Okay. Do we have that link in that spreadsheet there?
Yes.
Okay.
I linked to AdRoll and a few other of the
Thank
retargeting
you.
companies. No problem. Any other questions? Yes.
You mentioned the revenue sharing partnerships. How do you set that up? I mean, how do you keep track of it?
Well, you do need some tracking. Usually you can use like an in-house affiliate tracking platform like hasoffers.com, or there's one called Zfurl, and you do need a way to track it electronically. You give them a referral link, you set them up as an affiliate, and you give them a referral link, and you say, here, when you link to us or market us, send it through this link, and then that creates this statistics, the stats in the dashboard for them. And if you use a thing like hasoffers or Zfurl, it'll give them their own login. They can check their stats anytime, how many clicks, how many sales, how many commissions, et cetera, and track the performance. And then at the end of the month, you have to write them the check if they earned any commissions. So there's some manual check writing that goes on. But it's a nice way to partner with someone else. And they give you a referral link. Now, if you trust them, explicitly, you can take their Google Analytics, they can throw identifiers on a Google Analytics link and give you that link, and then you have to just rely on their reporting. And X number of sales came in, and we owe you X amount of money.
Yeah, well, that didn't seem quite secure enough.
Yeah, companies will do it. They will do it, but it's always best to have an affiliate tracking platform that you can allow them to access to see their stats in real time, and that always gives them that comfort level to log in and check. Was there a question over here? I saw a hand. Anyone else? Yes. No, actually, a lot of these retargeting companies don't allow that. They don't. They don't allow you to use it as an affiliate. You can use it. You can retarget people to come back to your affiliate site, but you can't take them through an affiliate link back to the merchant site. That's where it kind of breaks down for an affiliate. But what you can do, let's say someone comes to your Macy's page, okay? Then what you can do is you can use your retargeting network to bring them back to your Macy's page, and then they can go on from there. Yeah, it's not exactly completely ideal for affiliates. It can work. It's more of bringing them back to the site. And the reason I think it can work for an affiliate is just because the cost isn't that much, and it correlates to your overall website traffic. So it's charged on a CPM, a cost per 1,000 ad impressions. So it tends to be fairly inexpensive just because it doesn't run that much inventory. If you're only getting 5,000 or 10,000 visitors a month, you might spend $40 or $50 in the retargeting in a month's time, just because your volume isn't high. It's not creating a lot of retargeting because you're not cooking that many people. Yes. Yeah.
Would I go to hasoffers
To set up a tracking platform? Yes, you need a tracking platform. And you can use, Share a Sale. You can use that. But they would have to sign up for Share a Sale. But they would have to sign up for your hasoffers network or your Zfurl or Share a Sale or CJ or whatever. And then they would have to, and then they would grab the referral link and they would post it. Or you can work a deal where they don't use referral links and you just pay them a monthly fee and they just give a naked link to your website, which is better for SEO. And however, the sales won't be tracked. It's just like a paid advertising campaign. Right, whether it's a sale or not. But it's going to boost your SEO if they do a naked link from a blog post, like an anchor text hyperlink. So there's benefits to doing that. You should look to do both, actually. Get bloggers as affiliates, as well as get bloggers and do paid campaigns and get a naked link to your website to boost your SEO. Yeah.
You hear a lot about build your email list.
Yeah.
And could you give some examples of what you would actually put out on an email list? There's talk of, in other words, how would you incentivize people to sign up, and then what are you delivering to them regularly? What are some examples?
Well, You know, building your email list is one of those things that bloggers will, that tell you how to make money online. You can pop up little boxes and collect emails. You can set up drip email campaigns with different offers, different products for sale from different merchants you're affiliating with. There's a multitude of different strategies that you can use to, what you should be sending these people and how frequent. You have to kind of play around with it and trial and error it. And it depends on who they are, what kind of website you have, what niche it's in. You don't want to crush them with daily emails. You might send a weekly email. You might send offers, every other mailing with some articles, send a nice newsletter. So it just depends on your site and your niche and how you want to treat it. That's it, guys. Time's up. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for attending.